Hello and welcome to the third Plughead.net playthrough video. This is of the first hour series, and this is an indie game which has just been released today, or well, an early access program on Steam called UnEpic, which is all about a person who plays role-playing games, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of thing, and he is transported into a world of Dungeons and Dragons, but obviously not that. But it's a similar sort of thing. You'll see. But he thinks he's hallucinating, but he's not. And one thing I noticed, if you just see there, that you can play this in Chinese, which is great, because not enough games allow you to play in Chinese. Which is something strange, you know, because lots of Chinese people play games, and it'd be good to have that as an option. Someone with a Chinese wife would appreciate that, but maybe she would get into games a bit more if they were to cater to that. But anyway, regardless of that, it's in here. That's good. I always go for medium, especially on these playthroughs, because I'm going to start. And there is a D3D gear logo right in all the middle of this. I don't know why. I've got the full version, and it's still appearing. I don't know why. So for future videos I'll try and sort that out. But it's not too bad. It's usually at the top, but for some reason it's in the middle. But and as you can see, there's they're sitting around a table discussing the game of Dungeons and Dragons they're playing. There is some swearing, so avert your eyes whenever you see a naughty word, or just get over it, you know, either way. Not that bad, it's not going to kill you. But he goes off, goes dark, and all you can see is a D3D gear logo. But he can't see that, only we can. And soon he arrives in a fantasy world full of sounds and sights, which you can't see yet. And what role-playing game would be complete without an exhaustive grid-based inventory? And as you can see, right, so it's an indie game, so it's you know, retro visuals, retro play. Well, you start off with nothing apart from a lighter, a perpetual lighter that never goes off. But he thinks he's hallucinating, but he's obviously been damaged. This game isn't easy. I might be rubbish at these games. I am pretty bad at these platform games, but yeah, I don't think it's that easy. And I'm only playing on medium. I also don't. This isn't really the sort of game I usually play, so I might the maps. You know, it's useful being able to take notes. And I did take, as you'll see, quite a few notes. Put a few notes on the screen, on the map. But this isn't really the game I usually go for. But it's just out today, and I want to start doing these walkthroughs of the first hour on games that haven't been covered by every man and his dog already. So this is why I'm playing this. And you can't always play the games you want to play. As a journalist, you must delve deep into the dank pits of despair that are the games you probably never heard of. And there's some real bad ones out there. This is one of the things they say about 7 out of 10 score. Is 7 out of 10 is too high, and that is correct. Too many games get a 7 out of 10. but the majority of games people actually are interested in, will look to play, are of that sort of quality. It's only when it's the games you haven't heard of. They're the terrible ones. They're the ones that would get 3 out of 10, but people don't want to review them unless they're working for a magazine or an outlet that wants to review all these games. Generally, you will never see the 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10 reviews, because they just will not be covered. Which small company, small website is ever going to go out and get and actively search for a terrible game, apart from the really, really small ones who can't get any games from the big publishers anyway. So that's one of the reasons 7 out of 10 is the industry score, the default score. But that's got nothing to do with this. Because although this isn't really my thing, I can appreciate that people like this sort of thing. They like this sort of platformy, dungeon dwelling, Metroidvania, whatever the hell you call it, type of game. And there will be a lot to it. I barely scratch the surface in this first, I call it a first hour, but really it's only half an hour because I wasn't really that into it. But you get to see pretty much how the game is going to play out for a long time. Yes, there'll be loads of stuff I haven't seen. Just by you'll see later on that I come to a shop, and there's all sorts of stuff, like pets and things like that I don't come across. And the writing's interesting, as you can see from this bit. I'm picking up some gold, and it's a surprise because you don't expect this sort of thing to happen. You'll see what happens. Maybe we're too mollycoddled now, but there's a evil laugh, and then this happens. And you actually die. You actually die and are sent back to the menu just for picking up the gold coins. And I thought, when this happened, I thought, well, it's just going to put me back and it's just going to be part of the game. But no, you actually have to reload and continue from the last save. Now, if you're playing on medium, don't know about the higher levels. The medium level will at least put you back to fairly close to where you were. And as you go on, it's saving automatically quite often anyway. But you do have to go through the conversations again and again. I thought the hotkey system wasn't easiest to use. I quite often was pressing certain keys and accidentally drinking a healing potion because I'd forgotten that I was still on the weapon that was on the healing potion section. Now, yes, the thing is that you can easily put that on the same bit. If you see down the bottom of the screen, the middle is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's a shift key next to it, so you can have a shift assigned to hotkeys. And at the top right, you've got F1, F2, F3, F4, and all. If you press any of them, it selects that section and it changes the keys down the bottom. So you can have, say, 9 and then or 10, 9 or 10 or whatever, and then shift 9 or 10, and then you press F2, and then there's another lot. So there's loads and loads of hotkeys. But again, you forget sometimes if you're on F1 or F2, for example, and F1, and suddenly I've transported myself back to the sort of checkpoint, and as you'll see. So yeah, that was probably because I'm an idiot. But it'll happen. I think it'll happen to most people before they get used to it. That D3D thing is annoying. Apparently it's supposed to go away when you buy it, but I did. It hasn't gone away. Maybe I have to... No, that's just me musing on things, don't worry, talking aloud. I should be talking about killing a snake. With a sword. So I didn't get this. I thought it said press the shortcut key, so I did, but I didn't realise it was adding it to the F2, the weapons shortcut bit. So and then it said drag it down to the door. Well, drag it down where? I mean, to the bottom. But what does that mean? Obviously, I found out, but I wasn't entirely certain right at the beginning. And if I don't know, most people will know. But if I don't know, there will be other people who don't get that straight away. It doesn't take me long to figure it out. Yeah, see, now I've noticed because I pressed F2 and now I can see, and now I can, right, it's all come to place. Clicking in, all falling into place, and now I know what the hell. Now I know what the hell's going on. You don't seem to take falling damage either. I waste 2 arrows as well. I found this quite fiddly as well. Not fiddly, that's the wrong word. I think tedious of constantly. I don't have to put the lights on. But I suspect I barely got 1% into the game by the time I finish. Probably, and I can't imagine how many times I'll have put a light on if I ever complete it, which I probably won't. As I say, this isn't really my thing, so you've got to take my comments with a pinch of salt. But I can't begin to fathom how many times I'll have to turn a light on, or not turn the light on, but light a brazier or a candle or whatever. It's just, I don't know, it seems to happen a bit too much. It's a silly little thing, but the only useful thing about it, I think, is yes, it lights up the room, but also you at least know which areas, if you do get lost and the map's not the most helpful, you at least know that you've been to an area, or you've probably been to an area, because sometimes they're lit already. But at the moment there's not much happening. They're smashing boxes up. Finding out how to really play the game. Failing to be able to jump up on ledges. It's a bit awkward, the jumping. Jumping off ladders is a problem. I'm not sure if you can jump off a ladder, because you press up to jump. So you can't jump off a ladder because you press up, you just carry on moving up the ladder. So you press the left or right to jump off a ladder and you just fall. So I don't know if I'm doing anything wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't know what those things are. They're just like floating tumbleweeds. They mentioned magic, but not really. I don't think I ever come across a spell. If I did, I didn't notice. Not much to say really at the moment. I guess it's a problem. Not much is happening. Hitting things, collecting health. The traps, not sure how to spot them. Other than the fact that it's on a dead body, maybe you look for the dead body and you spot them that way. That's what I imagine. But there's a lot of skeletons about. As you go further in, you'll find these keys that you or locks. You have to try and find keys for them. I haven't actually found any keys yet. So I'll keep a note of where that is. There's another lock up here. And here's the first big thing. This is like it's called the caged spirit or something like that, and it basically a checkpoint thing. It heals you and removes conditions, and you can teleport yourself back to it if you find a certain item, a halo. So it acts as a sort of, you can save in between these bits, but that's effectively a checkpoint. And this bit is like the whole map comes back to this area. So you can't open any of the gates at the moment, but you can open them from the other side, and then you can traverse the map quicker via this hub. I just test a few of them out. And then give up. This game might be some sort of, it might be good for drop in, drop out, play. You could play for 10 minutes if you're a bit bored here and there, but I don't know if I would play this. Certainly I'm certain I wouldn't play it all the way to the end. I played Grimrock, that flick screen RPG, and I thought, well, I got a few levels down, but I lost interest. The setting is too similar. Yes, it changes later on, but it takes you're so long going through the same bits that I just got bored, and I think this is going to be very similar. Theme is very important, setting is very important, environment is important for me, and I'm not that interested by the environment here. I mean, yeah, it could change dramatically, because we are only playing the first however many minutes, and there is a relative amount of variety in terms of there's bats and there's slugs and there's weird wisp creatures and there's other creatures you come on, and there's a store and there's crafting, and there's loads of stuff in it. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. You've got to give them credit for that. I'm just not that enamoured of it in terms of presentation or just general feel, But that doesn't mean that you wouldn't be. Maybe it's really interesting to you. I can only say what I think. I haven't felt like I want to continue, and I didn't even make it to the full hour, so that may say something. There is multiplayer, which is it's on Steam Early Access, as I mentioned. The single player here is allegedly 100% complete, so it's fine to show a video of this because it's finished. But I see this is a new creature, one who casts spells and teleports and stuff. So you do get a reasonable amount of new stuff. You are coming across things quite often. But as I was saying, this is 100% complete single player apparently. But there is multiplayer. I do not know what form the multiplayer takes. Whether it's just basically a quick glance at a readme or the website or whatever will tell you. I don't know, and well, I guess this is irrelevant to this particular video anyway. So, and the reason it's in early access on Steam is that because they're still testing that. So you can use that Halo to go back to this, or the nearest one. There'll be probably there. Apparently, there's more than one. And this is an indie game, so you know it's you need to give it the benefit of the doubt, and it's quite witty in some ways, and it's well done in what it is, and a lot of people are going to find this very enjoyable. I'm not necessarily one of them, but you know that's not necessarily the point of doing these videos. The point of doing these videos isn't necessarily for me to say it's great, it's bad. I say what I think, but you can see the game to make your own mind up. And usually you can see how not to play it by looking at the way I do. I was wondering about this. He says you could always attack him, but I didn't attack him. I learnt my lesson with the coins. But I did wonder what would happen if you attacked him. I assume you just die horribly. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that I won't cover in this video. Like there's stuff to do with pets, or, you know, things like that. That won't be covered in this video because I don't find them. But it does indicate that there will be a lot more content, or a reasonable amount more content to find as you go on. And one thing this does do well, it is drip feeding new bits or enemies and weapons, whatever, relatively quickly. So you are discovering new things. If it was just grinding through the same level for an hour, then that would be dull. But you are at least coming across new things. This is where I'm an idiot. I think I'd die. Yeah. Defeated by a red slug. But of course, I don't finish there. You come back. When you come back, all the monsters come back as well in that area. I think maybe that in there, maybe in the whole game. I don't know. But I suspect only on that level, maybe the adjacent levels. But there's a lot more bats. Bats everywhere. They're really annoying. They just float about, round around. Keep missing them. I quite like the fact that there's a little healing animation as well. That's it's a nice touch. It proves there's a lot of love being gone into the game to put that sort of thing in, because they really don't need to. You just take the healing potion, it gives you some health. You don't need to animate that. So it's nice that they have. And it's that sort of little touch that's always fun to find. This is me being a total idiot again. One of the problem I could see is a lot of repetition with going through areas if you get in trouble and having to go back.